I remain smitten with mountains majestic but unpretentious, and the way rural silence calms me.
I am so in love with you, Montpelier.
We are here in Montpelier, and the city has transformed into PoemCity, thanks to the Kellogg-Hubbard Library. This is the 15th annual PoemCity. There are 450 poems placed in 50 businesses downtown. We're gonna go see some of them and get a poetry tour.
I think Montpelier is Poem City. Going around and reading an entire community's poems is like this deep form of listening.
When the weather's nice, it's the best thing to come out in our little town and to have Poem City and to come and know that you can come read some poems outside.
The month of April is National Poetry Month.
Perfect month to celebrate words and feelings and all the great poetry that happens in this state.
It's about people being able to find the words and the way to express stuff that doesn't get shared or acknowledged or discovered even in their own lives and in other people's lives. And so it's very democratic.
Well, of course, I have a special interest since my husband is a fabulous poet, Scudder Parker, and so I was coming to take a photo of his poem hanging in the library. How wonderful.
Every time I have my poem in a window, I always have somebody take my picture in front of it. I feel a little famous.
And also I think poetry's around us a lot more than we realize, and this is a really good way to sort of put it in your face. I always go and I look for my poem, I look for the poems of people I know. I work in education, I especially love reading the kids' poems.
So we have poets from ages 3 to 94. 200 are from students.
These are 6th graders from Main Street Middle School, and they did a prompt where they thought about an animal and what they have in common with that animal, and then they wrote a poem about it.
There's a diversity of poets all over town. The fact that the businesses are part of it, having the displays everywhere, having children involved with it, it's just what we need after mud season, though we're still in mud season.
And Montpelier residents have had a difficult year. In July of 2023, there was catastrophic flooding downtown. The community came together. Many businesses and homes have been renovated, but some are still struggling.
We don't have a post office in Montpelier since the flood of July 2023.
They're finishing up Positive Pie. It's April, it was in July, it's been almost a year. So this is Woodbury Mountain Toys, everybody's favorite toy store, but this is their old location. After the flood, they moved across the street to that location, and so they were able to put poems in both windows.
But there was a lot of sense of like the community has been through a lot, and this is a relief and helps the community heal, because there was the flooding, we had fires after that.
The library recovered.
Yeah.
It was flooded and damaged, and they did an amazingly rapid recovery considering how much damage was done.
So the entire basement flooded. So that was where our book sale was. But in the basement was also where we had all our critical systems, from the phone and the internet to the boiler and the electricity panel. Like everything that runs the library is down there. Even the elevator was down there. They were able to piece the critical systems kind of enough to get the library back open. It's been a huge, huge undertaking. Yeah.
And yet Poem City happened.
And yet, Poem City happened. Right, the poems will not be stopped. Yay! We do this like a passport style, so you get a stamp and then you can check mark all the places that you go to see poems, and you can check mark the programs that you go to.
Everybody loves the poems.
Yeah, we need to read poems.
It's a good outlet for processing everything that we're going through. I myself wrote my poem about the flood. So my poem, Trimeter After Flood, is here at Lotus Day Spa on State Street in Montpelier. Would she write about the junk and filth and stink in the streets, neighborhoods adjacent to this clean affluence? Document, witness.
A flash flood always begins with a drop of rain on a stone. Like this year, I did a flood poem because that's so, there's a lot of flood poems.
My poem is about coming to Capitol grounds and getting a cup of coffee and then standing right here and watching. I watched to see how high the water was. So we had the December rise, right? So in December, we had like an almost flood.
And everybody was just like, are we gonna flood again?
This is my poem about walking from the library to Capitol grounds. It's called Watch, Warning, Flood. I admit it, I went to get a coffee so I could see how high the water was this time. I stood on the bridge next to the people with their willow wand bowls, next to the newspaper people, next to the kids out early from school, looking across to the watchers on the Langdon Street bridge, looking back at us.
As a good Montpelier citizen, I kind of always think of I have to shop local now more than ever.
Sometimes we think of community as the nice times together, and really community is being able to be everything that you are and to feel and acknowledge what's hard together and realize you can survive.
Yes, I know the hearts are still here. This one is called PoemCity.
It isn't a thing about having everything perfect and elegant and being the elite.
But it's really not. It's for everybody, and I think that the democratization of poetry is something that we see in PoemCity.
I'm just going to read something called Visitation. I don't know where it went, but there are tiny fractures in the rules that shape me. I think I became more patient. There was no promise of return.
That's a love poem to a library. So one of the really fun things about PoemCity is the way that we match a lot of the poems to the locations.
This is the Capitol Kitchen store, and the poem here is called Kitchen Karaoke, about dancing around your kitchen and singing. There are always too many poems that I can fit in Botanica because there's one florist and everybody loves to write about flowers. Love is love is love, right? So it's World Cow, we're all spots on the same cow. Yeah. And we lost Reuben Jackson this year, just recently. He did workshops with us, he was very beloved. So we can go see the poems in tribute to him at Buch Spieler, place that he loved.
So I'm the publisher of Rootstock Publishing. We were so happy when Reuben sent us his newest collection of poetry to publish. It'll be out by October of 2024. I'll be reading a poem by Reuben Jackson in the PoemCity anthology and also on display in downtown Montpelier. Like Miles Davis playing a ballad, a serenity my friend says he finds in the ever-changing sky. So this is a way that PoemCity gets beyond Montpelier as well, because the book can go everywhere.
These poems will be up through the end of April in downtown Montpelier, and we will get stuck in Vermont with you again real soon. Walking around seeing all the different businesses that have worked so hard to recover, it just makes me so grateful to be a Vermonter and to live in a place where people come together and help each other to get through hard times.
Are these a bunch of evangelicals who are going to try to convert me? And the answer is yes, to poetry.